for my own personal amusement later. This is March 18th, 2021. I didn't lock myself out, which I was very happy about. Because I thought of it like a couple minutes after I left, but it would have been already too late. I was like, did I absent-mindedly lock my door as I was leaving? Because I'm not carrying anything with me. So if I lock myself out, I'm locked out. And that would suck. Because then I'd have to talk with other people and communicate with other people and explain to them, and look foolish, look stupid, explain to them. And it's like, I just need my door opened. I don't need all this. And so, but, realizing all that a couple minutes after I left, didn't help. So I was just like, well, I have a choice. I can go back and confirm it, or, one way or the other, and then, deal with it. Or, because it's going to be the same no matter when I go back, just go ahead and enjoy my run and do what I wanted, what I was out there in the first place to do. Might as well, at least, whatever the outcome happens to be when I get back, do what I set out to do, and I can feel good about that. So that's what I did. And I went out that way. I don't know what that looks like, but I'm talking about towards the college, towards the trails that go out past the baseball field and the tennis courts, and out that way. And I thought about just continuing on east, out the road that's out there, but I didn't know where the potholes were because I've never run it in the daytime or driven on it. So with it being dark and rainy, and I'd have headlights in my face, I didn't want to risk injury by running into a pothole I wasn't sure about, or being off-road and hitting a ditch, or a bad foot placement. So I just decided to run more familiar area, because it is dark, it is rainy, and it is kind of cold, but actually not as cold as what I thought. I felt pretty good about that. I know it's going to drop throughout the day into the 40s, but right now it was like in the mid 50s, so I was actually a little bit warm, even with being so I probably was a little bit overdressed, but when I first started, it was a little chilly, but I warmed up fast. And now I'm kind of hot, even though I'm drenched. But I was glad, though, that the door wasn't locked when I got back. And let's see. Oh, and I got my watch yesterday. So my Timex Expedition Indiglo. So pretty happy about that. They still make them. Apparently, I've had this watch, not this exact watch, but this kind of watch. This is my third one of these, because I don't know what happened to the other two. They're somewhere lost to history. They're out there in the world. I don't know. Probably one of them still works wherever it is. It might be up in Wisconsin somewhere. I'm not sure. But it didn't make the trip to Indiana. I had quit running in Wisconsin probably sometime. I think my last run in Wisconsin, it was a drunk run, of course, but probably sometime around 2013, 2014 was probably the last time I attempted to run. And before I just, my drinking got in the way of everything, so I was just like, I'd rather be drinking. That was my solution to everything. I'd rather be drinking. Oh, I can't go there. I can't do this. I'd rather just be drinking. So anyway, yeah, that's a whole thing. But we talk about that a lot. But today I want to talk about this. So I got my watch, and I feel very happy about that. I was able to and check my time, and I felt good about that. I was out there continuously jogging at speed, whatever speed that is, which I don't know. But I felt like a good pace. I wasn't pushing myself too hard, but I wasn't going slow either. I was, keeping a good, steady, moderate pace that I warmed up into. And I was out there I kept jogging for 40 minutes, because I thought about at like 25 minutes, I was like, as I was approaching 30 minutes, I was like, I should start making decisions to start heading back. And I was getting towards where the graveyard is here in town. I didn't know the name of it until today. It's called Green Lawn. Green Lawn. I'd never known that until I was, found myself running through the gates and into the cemetery proper. Because I'd never run through the cemetery. I've walked through it a couple times, but never run up to it, and never been through the front gates. So today I did, and I was approaching about. So at 25 minutes, I just kept on going, and I was like, okay, well that was me pushing through, that little hurdle, or that place where I start talking to myself about stopping, and because I thought, well, I don't want to push myself too hard, but nothing really hurt. Nothing really was bothering me. Breathing was getting a little bit like, okay, my muscles are getting a little bit, I'm getting a little bit tired from, I don't know, but my muscles were okay. My joints were okay. I was actually just getting a little bit tired. Just a little bit. But I kept on going anyway. And, but by the time I got to around 30 minutes and I was approaching the mausoleum, I was like, I really should just go ahead and turn around just to be safe, because I am kind of starting to push myself, and I don't know where these limits are of mine. I assume I have them. So I started going back, and and I was running through puddles all over. It was just puddles all over. My feet got soaked like within the first 5 minutes, and I was like, well, I've really broken in these shoes now. These Sauconys. So hopefully they dry out okay. I need to keep them ventilated, take out the soles, and let them dry out. Otherwise they'll have a nasty, and they'll rot. I had Sauconys that rotted before. I'll still use them, but I can take care of them better. So anyway, so I started making decisions to come back, and ran through a number of unseen puddles. And I'm sorry to all the earthworms out there that I stomped on. But I normally, if I could see the earthworms on the sidewalk and pavements, I would avoid them. But in all the places where it's unlit, I know that there's earthworms there, and I am just stepping on them because I can't see them. So it's like, sorry to all the earthworms out there, because they're just escaping the rain out of the soil, otherwise they'll drown. And so they go out onto the paved surfaces to not drown, and then they get stomped on. Well, I guess the birds will have something to pick over, and as the sun comes up, because the birds were out there too, but they weren't really singing too much, because it was too early, or I don't know. Well, I got back, and I timed my decisions to get back right around 40 minutes, and I had a crazy notion of like, well, in case I wasn't running 10-minute miles, I should pad it out and run an extra 4 minutes. That way, just in case I was running 11-minute miles. That way I know, because I wanted to have a sense of having gone 4 miles today. For, just from no reason. But I got back, I was getting close, and I was like, well, I could make extra little turns and loops to make it take longer, but I was like, I'm right at my street. It's already closing in on 40 minutes, and it's like, is my door locked? Is it not locked? And it's like, I should just call it good. This is enough. And so I headed back, and I got back to the house, and 40 minutes, 30 seconds. And that's when I stopped and stepped in a really, really large puddle right before I got back. So it was good. And it was a fun time. I had fun. I was glad to have been out there. The conditions were okay. It really felt like a race from me. Just not. I was having fun. I was having fun like I used to have fun. Because I was never racing. I was just out there, enjoying. When I remembered to. Because it was whenever I felt like I was having to I don't know. When I was out there to have fun, I had fun. But when I felt like, for whatever reason, I was having to compete or prove something, that's when I started having less fun. Because I don't know. that first year of cross country, that's when I had the most fun. Because I wasn't really, I knew I wasn't good at it, but it didn't matter. So I guess it was only as I got more years under my belt, I started to feel worse about myself. Because after, like, after you've been doing it for a few years and you have people that are already better than you, that are just right out of the gate, they've never run before and they're already better than you. And it's like, dang it, I have to work at this. And this guy who's never run before, he's already beating me. It's, so, but I can't be good at, well, I'm not good at that much, but at least I can have fun with it. And now I'm not competing with anybody. But already my mind is like starting to question. It's like starting to ask people, hey, just out of, you don't run by any chance. Just kind of out of curiosity to see if there's people to run with. But they would have to slow down for me. Oh my gosh. Who knows? And also, I don't like to slow down. So it's like, it's very frustrating because it's like, I can't, it'd be very stressful to me. It's stressful to me in a way to have to keep up with somebody else, run at their pace. I'd actually prefer that, I think, if I remember right. I think I'd always prefer to try to keep up with people. Whereas if I have to slow down for people, I think I mind that more. I think. I'm not sure. Because that means I have an excuse to go slower because I'm having to go slower. But if I feel like running and I'm having to slow down, then it feels like that should be. But I really don't remember. That was before. So it's like, I don't know how I feel about it now. Maybe I've changed. Maybe it's okay. Maybe I've grown up a little bit. I've tried not to grow up too much. So, anyway. Yeah, and I continue to be a little bit worried, or concerned about, like, is my hair going to be in the way of me, and it was a little flopping in the face and stuff, but for the most part, it just does its thing. It's long enough to stay in place and whatever, so kind of happy about that. And it's also long enough that I can, tuck it behind the ears, and it is getting longer, so. But, yeah. And so, successful run. And it is going to get colder today, so I wanted to make sure that I got the run in today. And then I'll be back at work Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And, but it's going to warm up again by Saturday. Be back into the 60s and be sunny, too. So, hopefully I'll do a run on Saturday after work, I think, and go from there. But everything's going along just fine. I think my goal, if I wanted to choose one, I don't really know of any races that are happening in the spring, but I know of the Hawk Walk run in October, and I did that for the first few years I was here, and it's kind of a remembrance, kind of a commemorative run walk for somebody that died from addiction, and it's held by the guy's parents, so his memory isn't forgotten, and it means something more, less in vain and more in hope, but only so, only as long as people remember and show up for it. And the last time I was there, I was like, asked some of the people I was there with, like, we should, we do something, and because we walked it, and it's like, if we wanted to, we could get, like I was trying to spark interest in, seeing if anybody was interested in jogging or running, or, that way next year we could, and, it didn't get any interest. And that was the last year I was there, and that was probably 2018, and then 2019 came and went, and I didn't hear anybody talking about going. I still got the thing in the mail, and then 2020 happened, and I don't know. The Hawk Walk might be done too. It might not be around this year after the pandemic and everything. And we'll probably still be in pandemic mode, by October, who knows? Or the next pandemic, or the next catastrophe or crisis, or, you know, who knows? But silly humans. I mean, that's my take on it. I'm being cynical, you know, but anyway, I feel really good. If you know, the entire rest of the world is falling apart, I went for a run today, and I feel good about that because I have some control over that. The rest of it, yeah. But from every little, you know, thing, there's something else grows. You know, it isn't meaningless. It just, you know, just might appear like it. Um, so, like for me, uh, this whole running thing, it's not from nothing. Sure, it's like, you know, the groundwork, the foundation of it was set back in the 90s. You know, I don't know exactly what started me with my interest in it. Probably it had to do with, you know, probably had to do with bullying, to be honest. And then needing some sort of safe harbor place or something to do. I don't remember exactly why I decided to, but I did it by myself. You know, I joined up. No one told me to. I joined up on my own because it seemed like something like I might enjoy doing. I don't know how I got started. I really don't. But no one told me to, and I joined by myself and started going by myself. And it was like my thing. And no one wanted to, you know, and it was only by my sophomore year that people started seeing how much I enjoyed it. And because I probably was talking about it a lot and talking about the meets and the people and the fun, and then people started joining. And then by my junior year, you know, I had more people in it because we just kept having fun. And sure, I was terrible at it, you know, mediocre at best, but I had fun, and you know, so it was cool. So anyway, so today it was again about what did I? Oh, revitalization, reclamation. Um, what was it? Reintegration? Was that the no? Reunification. There was another re word, but you know, just yeah, just feeling good about myself, being able to do these things that I had given up on myself. That you know, so. And as far as like starting running again, you know, my interest is, you know, I had already been thinking about it for a long time, but it's just I'd gotten reinforcement that it was a good idea. So it's like, all right, I can do this too. So decided to, yeah. So yep. So anyway, I am just so drenched to the bone, and I should take a shower. So yeah. So anyway, let's see what this looks like. Jeez. Yeah, it's gonna take a while to rush through, but yeah. Ugh. Yep. What a mess. But anyway, so that was my run. March 18th. I went like 4 miles. So that was cool. And I liked it so much. I'll be doing it again. So anyway, that's all I got. Bye.